Case is certainly renewing the debate over mental health and gun laws. Defense officials say the suspected shooter was acting erratically over the summer. Here's ABC's Andrea Fuigi.
Questions loom as to how the suspected mass shooter in Maine, despite his 2-week stay in a mental health facility over the summer, was allowed to own a gun.
That should have triggered the yellow flag law, and he should have been separated from his weapons.
Maine has a yellow flag law that establishes a process to take firearms away from a person during a mental health crisis. The process includes a police investigation, a doctor exam, and a judge's order. A process critics say takes too long.
I think the Maine law is too restrictive, and it has been used, but I think it could be more widely applied if we had a red flag law.
Margaret Groban from the University of Maine Law School says Maine's gun laws are lax compared to other northeastern states which have red flag laws. They simplify the process, allowing relatives of a gun owner to directly ask a court to remove a gun during a mental health crisis. Still, that may not have been enough.
Even if Robert Card had been prohibited from buying a gun, we do not have universal background checks in Maine, and he could have gone to a local corner, to a private dealer, and he would have been able to buy a gun illegally that way.
Despite Maine's soft gun laws, the state has fewer mass shootings per capita than those with stricter laws. Maine had 3 mass shootings since 2018, far below Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. Others say it's the type of gun that's the issue. In this case, the suspect using an assault-style weapon. Maine Congressman Jared Golden, who previously opposed an assault weapons ban, says this shooting rampage has changed his mind.
The time has now come for me to take responsibility for this failure, which is why I now call on the United States Congress to ban assault rifles like the one used by the sick perpetrator of this mass killing in my hometown of Lewiston, Maine.
On the federal level, Congress passed a law last year after the shooting in Uvalde, Texas, that gives states incentives to pass red flag laws. Further legislation, though, is stalled in Congress. Andrea Fuigi, ABC News, New York.
Right now, Kentucky does not have a red flag law, although legislation has been proposed in the past. In recent debates, Governor Andy Beshear has said he would fight for one, given a second term. An opponent, Daniel Cameron, has said Kentucky doesn't need a red flag law. Across the river, Indiana does have a red flag law. They actually passed one of the nation's first red flag laws.